not like the movies, you know. I mean, even me, I got signed at a young age and, didn't really pan out.
Brace yourself, because the world-famous voice behind Uptown Funk is finally speaking without a filter. Bruno Mars has decided to pull back the velvet curtain and reveal what really happens once the stadium lights go dark. Born Peter Gene Hernandez on October 8, 1985 in colorful Honolulu, Hawaii, Bruno grew up in a house that never stopped singing. His family blended Puerto Rican, Ashkenazi Jewish, Filipino, and Spanish heritage, mixing rhythms and melodies the way other kids mix paint. Dad Peter kept the beat on Latin drums while Mom Bernadette swayed as a graceful hula dancer and singer, turning every family gathering into a live show. Music did not just fill the living room, it filled the stage. The parents of the family group named the love notes, and little Peter jumped in almost as soon as he could walk. At 2, his dad nicknamed him Bruno, after wrestler Bruno Sammartino, because the toddler's fierce energy reminded the family of a powerhouse in a tiny package. The name stuck like glue and would soon flash across billboards around the planet. Buy for the Pint-sized Dynamo was copying Elvis Presley moves with uncanny precision, rocking local crowds alongside the love notes. Audiences at Waikiki Beach Marriott and Hilton Hawaiian Village gasped at the child who could mimic the king and command a room with fearless swagger. Hollywood could not resist either. In 1992, Bruno popped up in the film Honeymoon in Vegas as a mini Elvis, stealing hearts from Nicolas Cage and Sarah Jessica Parker on set. That cameo planted a seed, but the climb ahead was steep. As elementary school rolled into middle school, Bruno zeroed in on another idol, Michael Jackson. He practiced the footwork, the high notes, and electric attitude, widening his skill set and unlocking a brand new passion for performance art. He also taught himself piano, drums, bass, and guitar one note at a time, turning his bedroom into a multi-instrument workshop. Life was not all applause. When Bruno reached 12, his parents split, shattering the family's shaky finances. At their lowest point, Bruno, some siblings, and their father slept in parts of the Honolulu Zoo where Peter once worked. Even then, the teenager refused to quit the stage. High school brought fresh chances to shine. Bruno joined a local act named the Schoolboys, mixing reggae rhythm and blues rock, and popped during island gigs. Each show sharpened his style, a melting pot sound that later became his signature. Graduation from Roosevelt High felt less like an end and more like a green light. At 17, Bruno chased a big dream all the way to Los Angeles. The City of Angels offered studios and neon hopes, yet also brutal first impressions. With the last name Hernandez, executives tried to slot him into Latin categories that ignored his genre-bending vision. Tired of labels, he crafted the stage name Bruno Mars, an interstellar badge that shouted, "I will not be boxed in." The grind in L.A. hit hard. A contract with Motown Records fizzled before a single song reached the public. An artist development plan with will.i.am followed but stalled again. Money ran thin. Gigs were small, and demos gathered dust while offices kept saying no. Each rejection, though, sharpened the pen and humbled the ego. Instead of folding, Bruno doubled down on writing and producing. He teamed with Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine to form the Smeezingtons, a tiny hit factory hidden inside cramped studios. Late nights produced hooks, beats, and big dreams. The first explosion arrived in early 2009 with Flo Rida's smash Right Round, co-written by the trio. The single rocketed to #1 on Billboard, shattering digital sales records with more than 600,000 downloads in a week. Bruno did not sing a word on the track, yet the royalty check proved his pen could shake the charts. Momentum snowballed. Get Sexy for British group Sugababes hit #2 in the UK a few months later, mixing electronic pop with hip-hop and stamping the Smeezingtons as certified hitmakers. Every new placement placed Bruno's unseen fingerprints on radios across continents. Yet even with tiny paychecks, Bruno gigged anywhere that had a microphone. Dive bars on Sunset Boulevard, coffee houses in Silver Lake, even street fairs in Echo Park. Every corner became a classroom where he tested brand new riffs. During this stretch, he sometimes shared rooms with 5 other hopeful artists, fitting keyboards and mattresses into one-bed apartments. Cheap noodles were dinner, and bus rides replaced taxis, but his hunger to be heard never faded. Studio sessions often began before sunrise. Bruno smashed together doo-wop charm, hip-hop bounce, and Motown soul until a fresh sound snapped into place. The Smeezingtons proved their muscle with Billionaire for Travie McCoy in 2010, a sunny anthem featuring Bruno on the hook that shot up charts and teased his solo future. Record execs who once brushed him off now lined up outside the studio. Bruno stayed cautious, knowing broken promises too well, yet he sensed the moment had arrived. He released a 4-song EP titled It's Better If You Don't Understand, which met warm applause and set the stage for his full album. That album's first single, Just the Way You Are, soared to #1 and went multi-platinum worldwide. Awards followed like dominoes. Grammys, American Music trophies, and MTV statues signaled that the boy from Waikiki had taken flight. Still, he protected his privacy so fiercely that fans started calling him the Mystery King. To keep his band razor sharp, Bruno sometimes rehearsed 12 hours straight, polishing dance breaks and horn hits until everything felt like one heartbeat. The 2014 Super Bowl halftime show proved the effort was worth it, blasting joyous energy into millions of living rooms. Life on the road came with hidden bruises. Endless travel blurred days and nights, and high-stakes negotiations sometimes strained friendships. At 39, Bruno finally admitted that fame can drain the spirit. Yet the roar of the crowd keeps him moving. Balancing art and family is tricky, but he believes the struggle fuels the songs listeners treasure. Every Zoo Sleepover, every rejected demo, and every late-night jam forge the entertainer the world sees now. The curtain may lift a little, yet the magic only gets brighter. New music is brewing, secret collaborations rumble, and Bruno hints at a tour that will mix carnival spectacle with soul revival. Fans everywhere are ready for the next landing of the man from Mars. Get ready, because Bruno Mars's rocket ride to superstardom is about to hit full throttle again. His breakthrough moment arrived in late 2009 when Atlantic Records teamed him with rapper B.O.B. for the single Nothing on You. Bruno helped write the track with Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine, and even recorded the full demo himself. Atlantic first pictured another singer on the hook, yet the plan changed the instant B.O.B. heard that demo and demanded Bruno's voice stay right where it was. Nothing on You dropped in December 2009 and exploded across radio like fireworks. By April 2010, it was #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and ruling charts in the United Kingdom plus several other nations. Listeners everywhere sang along to Bruno's smooth chorus line. Beautiful girls all over the world, and suddenly the hidden songwriter became a household name overnight. The winning streak hardly paused. In March 2010, Bruno linked with Travie McCoy for Billionaire, and once again co-wrote and produced a hit with his crew. Bruno's playful hook, I Want to Be a Billionaire So Frickin' Bad, landed at #4 on the Hot 100 and soared to Australia and the UK with a sunny reggae pop vibe that made fans grin ear to ear. 2 chart smashes in a row proved he was far more than a one-shot feature artist. These lightning strikes turned Bruno's life upside down and pointed him towards center stage. The Smeezingtons were no longer ghosts behind other singers because their fresh sound was now tied directly to Bruno himself. Record executives took notice fast, and Atlantic began grooming him as a solo force thanks to that perfect blend of velvet vocals and razor-sharp songwriting. Within months, Bruno prepped his debut EP titled It's Better If You Don't Understand, while also shaping his first full album doo-wops and hooligans. He never ditched his behind-the-scenes hustle, though. The Smeezingtons kept crafting records for K-Non, Sean Kingston, and CeeLo Green. One huge example was Forget You with CeeLo in 2010, a single that critics later called one of the year's brightest anthems. Bruno's solo era blasted off on October 4, 2010, with the arrival of doo-wops and hooligans through Elektra Records. The lead single, Just the Way You Are, hit radio in July and melted hearts with a warm piano melody and sweet lyrics. The song rocketed to #1 on the Hot 100 for 4 weeks and earned Bruno his first Grammy for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance in 2011. The album felt like a cool breeze during a season ruled by electronic auto-tune beats. Tracks mixed doo-wop nostalgia, acoustic pop, and gentle R&B, and fans loved the contrast. Grenade followed in September with its raw story of unreturned love and also grabbed the top spot on global charts. The lazy song gave listeners a hilarious laid-back break, while Mary became a wedding staple around the world. Sales raced past 6 million copies, turning Bruno into a certified pop juggernaut. Momentum powered his next chapter. On December 7, 2012, he delivered Unorthodox Jukebox, which pushed his sound into new emotional territory that included temptation, heartbreak, and bold defiance. Producers like Mark Ronson, Diplo, and Jeff Bosker joined the returning Smeezingtons to help craft a wider sonic palette. Locked Out of Heaven launched in October with a rock groove inspired by The Police and punched its way to number 1. When I Was Your Man soon followed, touching souls with a piano-driven confession that climbed to the chart summit as well. Fans discovered Bruno could bounce from funky joy on Treasure to raw power on Gorilla without losing authenticity. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, then quickly claimed the top spot, and later won the Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Album in 2014. Global sales shot past 6 million, and his place in pop royalty was locked tight. Proof of his massive appeal came on February 2, 2014, when Bruno headlined the Super Bowl 48 halftime show at MetLife Stadium. More than 115 million U.S. viewers watched him open with a thunderous drum solo before leaping into a medley of hits. A surprise collaboration with Red Hot Chili Peppers on Give It Away Fuse Rock and Funk Under Stadium Lights. Critics cheered his mix of showmanship, musicianship, and pure energy that needed little pyrotechnic help because Bruno's charisma alone set the stage ablaze. After conquering the biggest sports stage on earth, Bruno stepped back from the spotlight to polish a fresh treasure chest of tracks. The result appeared on November 18, 2016, when he unveiled 24K Magic, a shiny throwback steeped in late 80s and early 90s flair. Co-produced with Shampoo Press and Curl, the rebranded Smeezingtons duo, the album dripped with swagger, rich horns, and talkbox sparkle. The title track rolled out first in October 2016 and instantly took over parties, arenas, and playlists. It peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100, yet felt bigger than any statistic, blasting feel-good energy wherever speakers pumped. The follow-up That's What I Like mixed trap-influenced beats with silky R and B vocals plus witty lines about luxury and romance. In May 2017, it claimed number 1 and later earned Bruno a 6-pack of Grammys in 2018, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best R&B Song. Another gem, Finesse, caught an even brighter glow after Cardi B jumped on a retro remix in 2018 that pushed the track into heavy radio rotation and kept Bruno's winning streak alive. Every single release, every award speech, and every sold-out tour underscore the truth that Bruno Mars reached the summit by mixing relentless work with fearless creativity. The remix's music video, inspired by the classic show in living color, instantly caught fire online. Fans and critics praised 24K Magic for its flawless throwback vibe and smooth, cohesive sound. By the time 2017 ended, it had become one of the best-selling albums worldwide, and Bruno proudly walked away with the Grammy for Album of the Year. It was official. Bruno Mars wasn't just a hitmaker, he was shaping the sound of 21st century pop music. But his journey was far from over. Silk Sonic takes over. The magic doubled when Bruno crossed paths with Anderson .Paak in 2017 while on the 24K Magic World Tour. Anderson opened for Bruno, but it didn't take long for their backstage jam sessions and shared admiration to plant the seed for something even bigger. Over the next few years, they kept those creative sparks alive with casual studio hangouts. Soon, it was more than an idea, it was a partnership. By February 2021, the world finally met their project Silk Sonic, a name gifted by funk icon Bootsy Collins himself. Bootsy even lent his legendary voice to the group's introduction, adding real weight to their retro mission. Their goal? Reviving the soul and funk magic of the 1970s while keeping it fresh for today's audience. Bootsy's stamp of approval only fueled the excitement. Their debut single, Leave the Door Open, dropped on March 5th, 2021, and the response was pure euphoria. Smooth vocals, romantic harmonies, live strings, soft piano, glockenspiel, and a laid-back groove captured the spirit of old-school soul perfectly. The lyrics, filled with charm, humor, and late-night promises, reminded listeners of classic love songs with a playful twist. The praise came fast. The Guardian called it pitch-perfect vintage R&B, while Vulture celebrated how effortlessly it mixed old-school nostalgia with modern style. Online, Social media lit up as fans across platforms, including Reddit, crowned the song an instant classic. Their album, An Evening with Silk Sonic, landed on November 12, 2021, turning up the retro magic even more. Every sound was crafted with period-perfect care. From vintage drum kits to hand-picked guitar tones and live studio sessions, they recreated the warmth of 70s soul like true masters. The album included musical heavyweights like Babyface, Her, Smile, and Thundercat, all united to keep vintage soul alive with a modern spark. Fans and critics alike couldn't get enough. At the 64th Annual Grammy Awards in April 2022, Silk Sonic swept the night. Leave the Door Open won Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best R&B Performance, and Best R&B Song, a flawless victory in every category they touched. Their electrifying performance of 777 opened the show, setting the stage on fire once again. But in a surprise move, Bruno Mars announced in October 2022 that Silk Sonic would not submit their album for Grammy consideration in 2023. His reason? The duo had already achieved their artistic dream and global respect with Leave the Door Open and didn't feel the need to compete further. As Bruno put it, they wanted to gracefully, humbly, and most importantly, sexually bow out. The decision turned heads, with many seeing it as a bold statement that true artistry matters more than trophies. It also made room for other stars like Beyoncé, Adele, and Kendrick Lamar to shine that year. But Silk Sonic's influence didn't stop at the awards. Their success sparked a full-on revival of old-school R&B and soul across the industry. Artists everywhere leaned into lush arrangements, live instruments, and vintage grooves, inspired by Bruno and Anderson's masterpiece. Older fans who grew up with legends like the OJs or Earth, Wind and Fire found themselves hooked again, while younger listeners discovered the timeless joy of retro soul for the first time. Though both Bruno and Anderson eventually returned to solo projects, fans everywhere are still dreaming of another Silk Sonic reunion. Their chemistry, love for vintage sounds, and bold performances created a moment that will echo for years. Bruno Mars, the mystery behind the music. Unlike many celebrities who flood social media with daily life, Bruno Mars keeps his world under wraps. His Instagram and Twitter are strictly business, album announcements, tour updates, studio sneak peeks, and occasional joke, but never drama or flashy lifestyle posts. In his 2017 interview with 60 Minutes, when pressed about his personal life, Bruno quickly turned the focus back to his craft, saying, "I was built for this. It's dedicating yourself to your craft, spending thousands of hours in the studio learning how to write a song, to get better and better." That one quote revealed everything. For Bruno, the art comes first. He's made it clear that fame, flashing cameras, and nonstop attention aren't a priority. In interviews, when questions drift toward gossip or personal matters, Bruno steers the conversation right back to the music. His social media reflects that same mindset. You'll find polished studio shots, concert highlights, or new project announcements, but hardly a glimpse into his private world. Even when he's feeling playful, like joking about pretend debt, it's always wrapped in humor. Bruno once told Rolling Stone, "You're never going to see me Instagramming at a party. I don't take my phone." His words say it all. When the spotlight's off, Bruno is off the grid. A big part of his offstage life revolves around his longtime relationship with model and actress Jessica Caban. Their romance, which began in 2011, remains one of the most private love stories in Hollywood. They first met by chance at a restaurant in New York's Lower East Side, as described by author Emily Herbert. Bruno approached Jessica, and their instant connection turned into a relationship that's lasted over a decade. Jessica, originally from Harlem, moved to Los Angeles in 2012 to pursue her own career and support their life together. Despite their years as a couple, they've kept most of their relationship away from the public eye. They've appeared together at the Grammys in 2014, 2016, and 2018, but grand public declarations aren't Bruno's style. Even during his emotional 6th Grammy win in 2018, his message was simple. "My Lady Jessica, I love you, baby. Thank you for being my rock and being by my side throughout this whole process." Their bond has even sparked some of Bruno's biggest songs. In 2013, he admitted in Rolling Stone that the emotional ballad When I Was Your Man came from a difficult moment in their relationship. But beyond that, He refused to reveal more, saying it was too close to home. In 2016, when asked about marriage, Bruno laughed it off, saying, "Jesus, she's my best friend, my rock. What's wrong with that? We're just happy." The couple shares a quiet life together, reportedly living in his Hollywood Hills home since around 2012. Along with their beloved Rottweiler named Geronimo, they've built a life focused on privacy, love, and staying grounded. For Bruno Mars, the music always speaks loudest. His career is filled with fame, awards, and iconic performances, but behind the scenes, he remains an enigma, a master of music, but a mystery as a man.